Decorators and trade skillers are some of the most passionate players in EverQuest and EverQuest II. We look at some of their crazy creations and talk to the developer who's their champion. And time is running out for the Fippy Awards, but you still have time to submit for Guild of the Year. The EverQuest Show starts now.
I'm on top of the world and now I'm living, and the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter. Gotta celebrate life and get excited about good times and good living. Come on, shout it out. Hey! Take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul and now you got me singing. Oh, hey! Oh.
Hello and welcome into the EverQuest Show. I'm Fading here in the EverQuest Show studios. And before we dive into the amazing creations that players have made with the housing features in EverQuest and EverQuest II, the Fippy Awards are almost here. And I gotta tell you, I am overwhelmed by the submissions that I have seen so far for the Guild of the Year Fippy Award. And while the nominations for other categories are now closed, I am going to go ahead and extend the submission deadline for Guild of the Year by just a few more days. So that means if you are submitting for your guild for Guild of the Year, you have until midnight Eastern on December 18th to submit your nominations video. Guilds are going to be judged on their video and entry submission, and all of the information for submitting your guild for Guild of the Year is on EverQuestShow.com. So now we're going to take all of these submissions and narrow them down. The official nominees for all categories will be announced in the next episode, which airs on December 21st, 2024. Then it's your turn. They're going to be up for a public vote through early January. Voting is going to influence but will not determine the winner in each category. Winners are going to be chosen by a panel of judges with consideration for the people's choice. The Fippy Awards will officially be announced on the Fippy Awards special right here on the EverQuest Show YouTube channel on Sunday, January 19th, 2025. There is a feature of both EverQuest and EverQuest II that many of you have spent hours perfecting, and some of you have just ignored it altogether. It has a very creative and devoted fan base, and of course, I'm talking about player housing. For some, it's a place to relax without the threat of the perils of Norath. For others, it's a way to unleash their creativity and imagination in the game, or just to bring a personal touch or holiday flair to Norath in both EverQuest and EverQuest II. Player housing is a feature that is now common to many MMOs, and it's one of the features that, in my opinion, EverQuest II does better and way more robustly than its predecessor. But that's because player housing wasn't really a concept when EverQuest launched in 1999. Even then, it would have been extremely difficult without the ability to instance content, which didn't come around until Lost Dungeons of Norath, and housing in EverQuest didn't arrive until the 17th expansion, cleverly named the House of Thule. Now compare that with EverQuest II that came with housing baked in. The system has undergone some extensive changes over its 20-year history, but one thing remains: its devoted and passionate base that love to create. I took some time to chat with some of those passionate decorators and attended a Norathian open house or two.
My name is Cinefe Darkchild, and I'm primarily a decorator on EQ2. The decorating community is fantastic, and I believe that we have held the community up in this game for a long time. We like to spend money and do lots of things together. They do house swaps. The boards are always full of people. There's websites that get run with furniture on them. It's fantastic.
And in a fantasy world like Norath, there's no shortage of whimsical themes in both games. But just like in real life, there are two major holidays that really put decorators in a frenzy: Knights of the Dead and Frostfell.
So I can't take full credit for this house. My building partner in crime is Alyssa. She's like the Martha Stewart of EverQuest II decorating. So this was like a Frostfell party for our guild. Over here was like some photo op, screenshot things. Whack-A-Gnome was one of our games. And then she did like skee ball and bottle ball and ring toss. She came up with some really cool ideas.
So just how do the decorators go about creating these unique scenes?
In EverQuest II, you have the ability to kind of twist things and turn things, put them upside down, make them bigger, smaller. A lot of times we'll bury things so that all you can see is the top. The circles in the back are a marble vase. and it's just the top of that marble base that she's allowing to poke through.
And let's go back to that Whack-A-Gnome game. We all love playing Whack-A-Gnome.
So Whack-A-Gnome is house actor set up as gnomes, and they are doing, I think it's the get sick emote, which makes them like pop their head up and down.
And it's a combination of the decorators getting very creative.
And this is where you can definitely see Alyssa's Martha Stewart side shining.
And also the developers putting in unique and specific items that are often requested by the community.
So the majority of them are attained by being a carpenter. And then holidays. So at the holidays, you can do all of the holiday events and get coins so that you can spend on house items that are pretty unique. And I think there's over 20,000 something plus house items in EQ2.
Another decorator that I talked with, Quora, on the Halls of Fate server, showed me around some of their properties and a look at this haunted house.
I loved it. When I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I have to get it. I also love collecting all the outfits, so whenever a new expansion launches, I always, try to get a full outfit from that expansion. I love the decorating community. I got introduced to it when I was on the test server because Denmother was on there.
The Denmother that she's talking about is Niami Denmother, one of the developers of EverQuest, but a longtime player who's been a fan of trade skilling and housing as long as it's been around.
They can do some phenomenal things with any house item you give them, and I love it. And they are fantastically creative, unbelievably so. I am totally in awe of these people, and that's why they devour every house item that I can find, and then some, and then ask for several more.
Very, very happy that Denmother has joined the mother team, as it were. She's been incredible for the community and, feeding our desire to have more and more house items all the time.
I love the creativity. I love being able to go to Aaron, Nabran, can we do something? I'll give him some examples and things like that, and say, they want a faucet.
Faucets. Oddly enough, you have a house, you'd think you'd have some kind of plumbing. We hadn't created faucets. And so I just, on a whim, made some faucets.
He comes back with 9 faucets. I'm like, okay, that's a full recipe book. I'm going to write a quest line around this.
The feedback I got from that was wild. That right there really kind of like threw our environment lead for a loop in the early days. They didn't quite get the idea of like Lego bricking things together to make stuff, to make a toilet, to make furniture out of weird, desperate little pieces. And yeah, it's amazing what they put together to make just wonderful items.
And I happened to come across some of those faucets and toilets while I was getting a tour of Kiara's house on the Skyfire server.
I do like decorating for the holidays, but I think I like decorating in general. And we got faucets not too long ago. And I added the faucet, the backsplash, and a bowl of water. I love making refrigerators and stoves. As you can see, I like putting in the glass. And then here we have a bathroom. The bathrooms are pretty cool to do too. You wouldn't think so, but yeah. The toilet is one of the vases that we have that I flip upside down. What I'm using for toilet paper is one of our white marble pillars. The short white marble column is what I use for toilet paper.
And it's not just a novelty. In both EverQuest and EverQuest II, while it does provide an outlet for creativity, it also has some practicality. It can be a place to store and display items that you've acquired over the years. In EQ, trophies can benefit players and their guilds, and in EverQuest II, guilds can display their trophies of their past raid accomplishments. And in houses and guild halls, teleportation items can make it a hub for getting around Norath more easily, with ports to specific content, cities, or the numerous houses that you own. With both practical and visual appeal, numerous types and sizes of guild halls and houses, there is really no limit to what you can create in both games.
It probably is one of my favorite things about EQ2, is the housing and being able to decorate.
So what about you? Do you use player housing in EQ or EQ2? That's our question of the episode. How do you use player housing? Comment below with what features you like the most, or maybe what you think needs improving. And one of the developers that you just heard from is loved throughout the trade skill and the housing community for the years of devotion to that aspect of the game. So let's spend a little bit of time getting to know Denmother.
I am Christy Bell. I am also known as Niami Denmother, or Denmum, as the community now knows. That's my dev name. And I am the trade skill designer. I've been working here since the start of 2021. I work on the trade skill side of things. That includes not only adding in new quests to fill in gaps, it includes signature lines, it includes our game updates, things like that. I've also adopted things that are house item related. I like the chance to create as well as destroy. Yes, I can go out there and kill mobs and have a grand old time doing it. I used to raid before my health got worse, but I also like the chance to create.
Now you're involved in kind of creating those items. How's that different? What's the challenge?
Well, the challenge is it's a lot more technical stuff going on. There's a lot more background stuff, a lot of wrangling with the database, and can this do what I want it to do? You know, my imagination can come up with a lot of things, and are there technical constraints to this?
And though Denmum's employment with Daybreak has only been since 2021, there's a long history of being a fan of EverQuest.
I've been working on this since Phase 4 beta of the original EverQuest, and I fell in love with crafting, and I couldn't find all my ingredients in one single zone. So I decided all on my own I was going to figure out which vendor sold which ingredients, where the recipe books were, all of this other stuff, and starting a website. And, you know, I always had in the back of my mind, gee, I'd love to work for the company. But I had enough health issues that it was like, not until you let me telecommute.
And Niami wears her health battles, as well as her love for EverQuest, literally on her sleeve.
Let's see how well that goes.
People will recognize that.
There's the Niami avatar, and she's batting 2 cancer ribbons out of the park. The pandemic changed things for me on my health front, but it also changed things for the company. And the company realized we can let people work from home. And I applied, and
what's it like? What's it like now seeing where the sausage is made?
It's wonderful. It's really great, especially because I've been working with a lot of these people for years. But to be able to be inside and then say, this is my first quest. You know, I made this to give back to the community. This is my gift to the crafting community. Here you go.
Hikaro here with a tip for new and returning players to EverQuest II. Some of you veteran players might learn something as well. If you have a set of armor that you want to display in your home, there are actually multiple options to accomplish this. Mannequins are used to display weapons and armor in your house, but they're not the only option. If you use a house actor, you can display the same items, but the NPC is now animated and their race can be customized. You can also give them dialogue to say when someone gets near them. This adds some liveliness to your home. House actors can be crafted by level 95 carpenters or purchased from the Daybreak store. If this helps you out, let us know in the comment section below, and don't hesitate to share tips that you'd like us to share in the future.
So next episode, it's official. We'll get the nominees for Guild of the Year, as well as Content Creator and all of the other categories for the Fippy Awards. So make sure you're subscribed so you'll know when that episode drops. Go ahead and click like while you're there if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support for the EverQuest show, and I'll see you in NORAD.
We gotta be the best we can be. And though sometimes we don't want to, still we gotta chase our dreams. Reach up and reach high, because we're gonna pull through and give it all we got, even though it can seem hard to catch and make it happen. But we can't start sliding, come on, and do what you gotta do to fight on. And so no matter what comes your way, nothing can ruin your day or even wipe your smile away. And by the time I'm up and out of my bed, I got 100 new ideas floating around in my head, with the hope for tomorrow, a dream that I can see of all the awesome things, the great people we can be. Or maybe by the music or the songs that I sing, I'll change the world with the simple message that I will bring. All I know is that it's out there, there's more to discover, a lot of good things we can learn from one another. Gotta